the first to go down.
That is a cancel onto the Yumino clan.
That will connect, and there goes one.
Trouble. He's going down. First blood.
He goes in for the division. Killing free. We have finds enough time. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And there you go, as you got for the M2 World Championship. Starting things off in the group stage, phase 1, there'll be 2 days of play happening from the 18th January on Monday as well as Tuesday on 19th Jan, where you have players divided in towards groups, where you have group A, B, C, as well as D. So how this is going to work, we have 2 days of tournament, 3 matches to be played on each group, 8 matches per day, and the first phase will proceed to the playoffs upper bracket. And tell us how important it is to be on the upper bracket in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, honestly, in any tournament, right, upper bracket is the most comfortable place where you don't have to play as much games, so you can conserve more energy, you can conserve more of your play style. You don't want to reveal too much. At the same time, you're able to see all the lower bracket fights where they might reveal a little bit too much. And over here, 6 matches a day. It's definitely going to be a very, very tiring day for the players, for the casting team as well. Yeah, I'm just saying, right? But
True
6
enough.
matches a day for 2 days. Definitely going to be a big day for our viewers as well. They're going to watch all these great teams playing. And the first place, as Contra have stated, will go to the upper bracket of the playoffs, where they just have to play a few games all the way to the championship. And even if they lose, they have a second chance. And that, I think, is the most premium thing that you can have when you're in the upper bracket.
League was knocked out by
Yes.
RRQ Hoshi,
Yep.
and they came back swinging with the reverse sweep.
Oh, yeah.
And that best of 7 in the grand finals itself to be able to claim top prize during the previous championship itself. Now, we're going to be looking into phase 2 of the group stage as well, where matches will be played between the ones that are not on the top seed. So at the playoffs bracket right here. So we got our upper bracket being set, and it's going to be a best of 3 to start things off between Group A versus Group C. Then you have Group B versus Group D's winners, and then moving forward, of course, you got the winners of the group. But on the grand finals, as always, it will be a best of 7.
Yeah, but the thing is, we do have to watch. Yes, it's a best of 3, but during the winners and losers finals, it will be a best of 5. Or, it's like in this situation, you definitely want the best of the best, and sometimes the best of 3, you might lose to like cheese strats and everything. Yeah. So while Contra is pulling in the pool from Pool 1, I'm just gonna remind you guys, in the Pool 1 we have Team RRQ from Indonesia, Branding Sports from Philippines, Toda from Malaysia, and Burmese Gold from Myanmar. So right now, you gotta. All right. So it's all yours, man.
Got one in the back. All right. So gonna crack this one open. And our first team for today, Burmese Golds.
All right. So right now, Burmese Gold is the champion for MPL Myanmar, where they have won all seasons, not all, the last 3 seasons of MPL without any losses. And during MPLI, they performed super well, where they almost made it to the finals. But either way, this is the first team that's going into Group A, Burmese Ghouls.
That's right, and Burmese Ghouls, one of the powerhouse that has been able to get such a magnificent result back in M1. They're hoping that this time around it's going to be different, that they will be the ones sitting in the grand final place. But there's still a lot more teams that will be drawn in towards each one of these lots, and Burmese Ghouls definitely is a name that has been around.
Remind you guys in Pool 2. Alright, never mind, we're going to go Pool 1 first, but I'm going to talk about Pool 2 just a little bit, where we have Team Resurgence, EVOS from Singapore, Alter Ego from Indonesia, and Omega from Philippines, so we will definitely have to see that first. But right now, again, the second team from Pool 1 will be going to Group B.
And inside of Group B, we have...
I can't even see from here, I don't know what's going on.
From the Malaysian side, Todak.
Alright, so Malaysia representative will be going up in Group B. Now we're just wondering who else will be in Group B. Right now there's only 2 more teams in Pool 1, which is Brand Esports as well as RRQ, which is going to be in either Group C or D, which I think many people, as of right now, would want to avoid either Group C or D.
Well, there's nothing that's being rigged here for sure, but now that there's only Brand Esports as well as RQ, I'm hoping to put RQ Hoshi into its Group B, so that I can...
We're going to proceed forward, where I think all the teams will be looking at Group C and D, because right now, both of those groups look very strong with either Brand or RQ, and if... I don't want to jinx it, but alright, Contra.
Alright, it's time to find out then. And it seems to be the champion from the Philippines, Brand Esports.
Looks like Brand Esports will be going up into Group C, the champions of Philippines, where the Philippines, their MPL, they are very accustomed to best of 5s, best of 7s. So definitely Brand Esports, I would say, has the largest amount of stamina in this group right now. And right now Group C is not looking very easy, but we already know. We already know who's gonna be up in Group D.
Exactly, and I really didn't really thought that I would be able to pull this off, and I just really want to do it for the sake of, like, you know, hoping to put RQ Hoshi in towards the group of death. But I guess I just got to do the honors right here. So, as you all might have known, the final team will be the champions of Indonesia, RQ Hoshi.
Yeah, RRQ has been looking very strong. However, during MPLI, they lost to Alter Ego 2-0. And right now, RRQ Hoshi, even though they're at the top of the table in their own MPL, but going up to M2, a lot of, I would say, meta changes is going to happen. So we do have to see how does this affect our Indonesian champions. And right now, Contra, I think it's official that Group C and D are looking very tough. But we have to look at pool number 2 over here. We can see again, Alter Ego from Indonesia, Omega Esports from the Philippines, Resurgence as well as EVOS SG from Singapore. Whichever group Alter Ego goes in, if Alter Ego goes Group A.
I just really hope you didn't remind me about that, but here we go. Alright, so I guess this is going to be our first lucky team in towards Group A.
Alright, and I can't see yet. I can't see, but
and it will be from the home country of Singapore. That will be the host nation for the M2 RSG.
Alright, so Team Resurgence from Singapore is going up against Team Burmese Ghouls in Group A. Right now, Group A looks fairly safe. Like, it could go either way. Resurgence is very strong. They look, I would say, very consistent in their performances. So, right now, Group A looks fairly balanced. It looks fairly okay.
Yeah, I definitely would say that these two sides might have actually met back in the other competitions, and In MPLI, there was also a whole lot of all these sort of matches that were extra. First to roll it once again. Okay, don't hate me for this. All right, so here we go. All right,
I swear, Contra, please.
All right, so in Group B, we will have Omega Esports.
This is still not easy for Group B because Omega Esports is the runner-up in MPL Philippines, where they played against Brand Sport, even though they lost, but they showed very, very spectacular performances in the Philippines. Even though MPLI, they didn't do too well, they lost 2-0, but the same thing happened to Todak as well. So right now, Group B also looks fairly okay. I'm just happy Alter Ego is not in there.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is going to be really interesting because there actually could have been only one possibility.
Yes! There's only one.
There's only one possibility that the team that...
Did I just jinx it?
Well, I don't think you did jinx it, but it's just the nature of the draw. But we're still going to be looking at how things are going to go, so...
You know, Concha, you might not know this, right?
Yeah.
But I've been known in the Mobile Legends community where whenever I make a prediction, bad things happen. This is one of those times my prediction might have been correct.
Alright, so this is where things get even more interesting.
I saw it a bit, but go ahead.
Alright, so for all of you viewers out there, this will be from the home nation of Singapore as well for our M2 World Championship, and it will be Evo Singapore.
Yeah, however, I feel like I don't know, I'm not too sure, but I think Alter Ego will have to go to a different group just because they cannot exist in the same group as RQs. I'm not so sure whether they're going to be swapping places with EVOS SG. We'll just have to see. But right now, as you guys see, EVOS SG is in Group C.
Well, there's also a possibility, if I'm not mistaken, that it will be pushed towards the next group itself.
So Group A.
It might just be it. So we really got to find out from our production crew on how this one's going to go, as our very final team, then the ones from the Indonesian side, Alter Ego Esports.
You know, you pulled off the Indonesian team last twice.
Well, I know this is just something that is very, very unlikely, and it was supposed to be a group of death, like if both of them were slot inside of Group D. So now that we have Alter Ego Esports will not be placed inside of Group D. They'll be placed in a different group. So we'll find out which group will they be placed at.
Yeah, I would say either A or C. We definitely have to check it out a little bit later. But there you go. All of the second pool has been drawn, where the first pool is RG in Group A, and then Omega from Philippines will be in Group B, and you prefer to be in.
If I were to be in any group right now, I would fancy my chances either on Group B or even from the, actually it's really, really tough. If you ask me, everyone's champion on their own rights, runner-ups, as well as they've won multiple tournaments from the past. So it's really hard to tell, because Todak has been on a very consistent form back in their MPL, where they
losing a single
they
series.
didn't drop a single game, like you said. And same goes towards the side of Alter Ego, which now getting drawn. They have not lost a single game in the MPL, not even a single match point out there given to anyone out there. But if I'm looking at chances here, I'm not disrespecting any teams at all.
Of course.
When we look at power rankings and such, I'm looking at Group A to be a real bit of a 50-50, where on a good day, any of these teams could actually win it all or even lose it all.
Yeah, honestly, for me,
in our recent run here. So, looking at Pool 3, we definitely have to see which team will be pretty much placed in towards different places here, which will cause a little bit of disruption. So if we look at Pool 3, we got Impunity Khmer coming in from Cambodia, there's Volt from Russia. So Russia, back in the days of M1, there was a team hailing from the region that actually did decently well. So of course we do see a little bit of a swap that comes right through, and it will be Group A with Alter Ego Esports inside, as they will be swapping with Resurgence RSG into Group D. That is definitely going to be a very, very tough group for the side of Resurgence. Hopefully they will have a little bit of leeway here, but it definitely has been an interesting turn of events, I gotta say. So I'm just waiting for LaFell to come back up online, so we'll be having a little bit of a chat later on. But now, looks to be that we've already finished up with Group A all the way towards Group D for our pool number 2. We'll eventually be moving in towards Pool 3. So hope.
As they are looking WJ looks like trying to disrupt the He's in trouble. He might be the first to go down. That is a cancel onto the new middle flash.
That will connect, and there goes one.
Trouble. He's going down. First blood.
He goes in for the division. Killing free.
We have spiked enough time.
Welcome back to M2 Live Draw. My name is Hasil and this is Contra. Again, thank you for everyone's patience and sorry for the long delay. It just happens because, well, many people from overseas, they might not know, but my name is Hasil. I am an MPL Malaysia caster, and whenever I'm on, we always have issues. But either way, right now we already done the first pool as well as the second pool Contra. Now the thing is, I have read the comments, and the comments they were worried about was like, wait,
the M2 organizers out there that has been able to plot it out. So we are definitely bound to see that there's going to be also big chances for the nations out there that have more than one representative to be able to actually get really far into the competition. Now, if we look at it, we got 2 teams from Singapore, 2 teams from the Philippines, 2 teams from Indonesia, and also
again, just in my personal opinion, like we've seen Indonesian teams fighting against each other, we've seen Philippine teams fighting against each other, right? It will be the same thing. If suddenly Omega is in Group C, then Omega will be moved to Group D or elsewhere. But right now, Aaron has chosen one very, very nice spherical name of that,
and from the first team inside of Pool 3, we will have this Volt.
Yep, we can see the representatives from Russia will be going into Group A, where they will be fighting against Burmese ghouls as well as Resurgence. Over here we can see this Volt from Russia.
That's right, and they are definitely going to be the dark horses of the tournament, as we have already seen them really having a very good chance here. And now we're going to be looking at them being placed inside of Group A. Now, this group is rather interesting. There's a lot of great tactical maneuvers that will be brought up from RSG, aggression coming in from the side of School, and from the likes of it, the Russian team that we do have from Dusville is also one that is relatively aggressive.
So against the Russian team, you guys have to ban out the Natalia. At that time, Natalia wasn't, like, she was playable, but she wasn't like, alright, you always have to first pick, you always have to ban. Specifically against the Russian team, they're like, you know what, you gotta ban out the Natalia, but right now we can see Aaron has got the other team that will be placed in Group B.
Now, inside of Group B, we will have Impunity Esports.
From Cambodia. Impunity Esports will be going up into Group B with Team Todak as well as Team Omega Esports from the Philippines. So right now, the Group B stage is, I would say again, one of the more safer groups. However, I myself have to admit, I do not know much about Impunity for this year Contra because I have not seen any of the games.
Well, Impunity has been a powerhouse, and they are an esports organization initially founded in Singapore, as they have already established a lot more teams around Southeast Asia.
But you only have DreamMax as well as 10-Second Gaming Frost. And I don't think either of those teams will want to be put into Group C, but
I think these teams here, they don't want to meet 1-Second Gaming Frost.
Yeah, so if 10-Second Gaming Frost goes into Group C, then Group C is the group to watch.
Oh boy, I can't wait. Oh, what's it gonna be? And looks like we have our team from Japan.
Oh,
10-Second Gaming Frost.
I just want to say I called it. I called the Group C. I said that Group C is gonna be the group of death. I usually get predictions wrong, so I'm gonna pat myself on the back for this one. But yeah, 10-Second Gaming Frost inside the death group, the group of death, Group C, alongside with Brand Esports, the champions of MPL Philippines, and Alter Ego, the champions of Mobile Legends Professional League International.
That's right, and now this leaves us with only one team remaining. And, well, you guys can make your guesses.
Sure.
If you guys haven't already guessed
Let me predict DreamMax.
That's right, from Brazil, it's DreamMax.
Yep, DreamMax has been looking pretty strong. However, going up against RQ as well as Evo Singapore, with both of these teams being super aggressive in the early game, is definitely going to be very difficult for DreamMax to match against them, because their team, even if they have a more early to mid-game centric draft, they do seem to prefer playing a little bit closer to the late game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there might just be a Cinderella story run that might just happen between all of these group stages here, but oh boy, what have I done here for Group C?
As well as DreamMax, the national, Brazil Nationals finalist winner. And right now we can see the lineups of Group A. We have Burmese Ghoul, Resurgence, as well as Nick Devil. Right, there's a bit of a name change over there. We have Ace D, maybe KD, Ruby DD, as well as Meow from Burmese Ghoul. And on the RG side,
well, we got KCP, Jason Ferrer as there. He is a coach as well, so it's really interesting to see that he will be playing in the M2 World Championship alongside with Singh, Zana, LY4, as well as Fossa. So, teams for Group B, and do the honors.
Yep, over here we can see for Team Toda, a lot of people have been asking, and this is your lineup: Chiku, E1, Moon, X-Ray, Stu, as well as Formace, where this is the original lineup that won them the MPL MYSG. with no series left. We have Brad Esports, Alter Ego, and 10 Second Gaming Pros. Where the lineup from Brand Esports, we have Pew, Rebo, Carl Z, Lusty, Coco, EHaze, as well as Flapsy. And yeah, for Alter Ego, we have Toshi, Leo Murphy, Cassius, Sailor Boy, Nyam. They just win everything.
Well, yeah, you gotta keep your eyes on Telly Boy as well as Udil. Two of these names are definitely the front runners for the side of Alter Ego. But in Group D, this is where things get a lot more interesting. Looks as if it's gonna be the El Clasico, or it could definitely be even more hype up than that. As we start off with RQ Hoshi with Vin, Lemon, Albert, Sin, R7, Wiz King, as well as Cyber.
Well, you guys will be seeing us on M2. So, until next time, I guess this is the end of the show.
That's right, and we'll see you guys in Singapore.